Probably. Hey, what's up, guys? It's your boy Patience once again. It's a good night, and I've been working practically throughout. I guess you could say the day on this little escapade, and I'm gonna go ahead and show it off for you right now. I know I wanted to try and hold it out the best I could. I just couldn't hold it, guys. I'm pretty satisfied with my work. Now I'm not sure if you can hear me all that good, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn down my little bellow tune so we can get this little talks and things going on. Now let's bring it down about here. Alright, so anyone that's familiar with gaming, like back in the 90s, maybe like really early 90s, will probably be familiar with who this character is, like right away. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up, but first you can see that we've got a little bit of movement going on in this one. So I'm gonna jump out my little dummy camera and we're gonna go flying down to this guy. And as you can see here, I haven't given him any thumbs yet, simply because my sculpting situation's kind of been playing up with me. I'm not too familiar with sculpting, so I don't know my ins and outs all that great. But yes, that's my character, guys. My character, that's a character that's obviously a fandom, and this will be Akuma from Street Fighter. So I'm just gonna go and just zoom in here, and I've got my little hair lotions going on now. If I pull up my my little weights, you can see that it's kind of breached in line. Give me a second. If I grab this and I go into my weights, you can see that where my weights are, kind of thing. And well, if you're familiar, you can tell that it's kind of like breached the line. I partially know why, but that's practically how I want it right now, guys. So that's how it's gonna be for now. So don't judge me on that one. But anyway, so as you can see, I've got him all beefy. Yes, I chose to go with that kind of hairstyle. Simply because I don't know, it just looked different and I just kind of liked it. And I spent quite a while modeling the forearms of this guy, and it was pretty neat. And as you can see, he's got the little thick thighs, the shape. I went with the Street Fighter Alpha style, mainly because that was my favorite game when I was growing up in the early 90s. Me, my brothers, my cuz would like spend practically the whole 6 weeks holiday kicking each other's heinies on that game. And so that's why I went with that style. Not to mention it's one of my favorite art styles, simply because it's an art style that actually worked. Many people would say the anatomy of this and the anatomy of that, but the anatomy of this was way out. It was random, it was over extreme, and I loved it, every last minute of it. And I loved playing from Alpha 1 to Alpha 3, so much so that I want the collection. And what else? I also love Street Fighter SNK. I weren't really too fond of the classic ones, the really early ones. I mean, even back in the days when I used to play those, I always used to get my back kicked. And so I was never any good on that, but mainly because in the newer ones like Street Fighter Alpha and Street Fighter Marvel vs Capcom and all this stuff, Street Fighter vs Marvel and Street Fighter vs Capcom and Street Fighter vs SNK and Street Fighter vs X-Men, which was one of my favorites of all, and the etc. The point was those games you could actually, they put more blocking into the game, like you couldn't just, it's not like the classic games where you just block standing on your feet, and maybe you could block while you're ducking, but you couldn't block when you was in the air. That was something they brought into Street Fighter Alpha. And obviously one of my favorite characters was Ken Masters, and I think Guy. And Ken Masters, he could do like the roly-poly that came in Street Fighter Alpha 1. And then you had Guy, and he was also pretty neat. He had some weird dodging scheme. And then there was Akuma, and so that's who I've just created anyway, Akuma. And well, I hate to give spoilers, but I'm gonna create Ryu somewhere up here, and he's gonna be looking down. And I've already recorded some of the voicings that's gonna go on top of my work here. So thank you for your support with that one, guys. And yeah, I can't wait to get this one done. But don't expect to see anything more than what I have here. The reason being is because if I go into my sculpting, the settings I think has been kind of jumbled, and I'm not used to how the settings are. I'm not used to sculpting. Like, this is, I can sculpt a character, but that's about the best I can do at the moment, and even that is tricky for me. Like, this took me quite a while. I'm very satisfied and feel accomplished. The reason being is because this is a muscle man, and if you saw my last characters, that was Robin and Batman, and though they were like muscle guys, they didn't really have a lot of the muscle case scenarios going on. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this light, I'm gonna just power drive it, and you can see that I've actually gone to town with giving him like a body situation here, so it's not just the little sweet arms and stuff. I actually want to bring these little back muscles out here. I've gone with a unique style of muscle man in this one, mainly because he's like a demon character, and like etc etc etc. I think what I might be able to do, and hopefully you'll be able to hear the sounds, is play a little bit, or at least one or two of the sounds that I've had recorded for this little showcase. So just bear with me a moment, guys, and you can just tell me if you like the sound of this one or not. Will you let me in? There we go. So what I'm looking for, hopefully you'll be able to hear it, because my sound system's been playing up a little bit. So it looks like we got nice sounding going on. So I'm going to turn this down a little bit, and I'm just gonna get a little bit of this sound stuff. So first we got like this one. Let me just get this playing up for you.
My father, Akuma, are you? My father, Akuma, are you? My father, Akuma, are you?
Okay, so when I heard that one, I figured what I would do was probably go with the dark style Ryu. You got the evil Ryu, and then there was a few more other ones. So there was like this one. And then I was able to get this one.
No, I am not your father. You are Ryu, and
So based on those little situations there, I hope to apply those to this little case, and make a nice little showcase with maybe like a little panning camera like such. And then I'm going to have the little Ryu up here, and you might be saying to yourself, well, wait, Jay or Paige, why are you working on this and you're not working on your Toon Shades, your other promo? and it's pretty simple and it's pretty obvious. The reason why I'm not working on that at the moment is simply because, yes, my MacBook broke down, and so it's hard for me to get my hands onto that. And my work over on that side has been somewhat diminished. But once I'm able to recover all my work on that side once again, then yes, I will begin my work once more. But yeah, that's about the best I have for that one, guys. So so as you can see, I've kind of gone to town with modeling this guy. I really want to get more done with him, but so basically what I'm about to do now is I'm about to color him up. But the thing is when I color, all of this detail practically goes. And so I didn't want to just dive into something and have you guys miss the process. So I showed you guys the raw footage of him in my previous Robin upload or stream, and so now you're seeing what I made of him. In actual fact, it's not finished, it's far from finished, but I have no other option but to proceed, simply because if I try to sculpt, like I said, the settings are kind of playing up. But yeah, as you can see, quite the accomplishment for myself, because it is the Street Fighter Alpha style and in 3D, and I'm about to dress him up as well. But I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna color him first, and then I'm gonna dress him on top. I'm gonna give him a few thumbs, but I won't do it via sculpt, of course. And yeah, and then I will get back to you guys with another live one. That won't be today, hopefully tomorrow, but I doubt it'll be tomorrow. So chances are at this stage it'll probably be via next by the end of the week, maybe Saturday, maybe Sunday, whatever. But yeah, I'll give you a little close up of his little face and all. So I was having a bit of fun sculpting this guy before I began to lose all sorts of connectivity, as it were. I've gone and put the toon shade on his hair. The only difference is with this situation is I'll put a little bit of shine to it. I'm not usually too fond of that, but what I tend to find is if you turn down the mixer on the shine, then you kind of still end up with a toon effect rather than that kind of sharp effect. And I think that's a good somewhat adhesive notion to add towards the stylized grass theme. So because you still get the shine, you can add bloom to it, and and you still end up with something that looks toon style, rather than if it's like too bright. Like for instance, I can just kind of give you a little indication of what I mean. Bear with me a minute. If I just take one of these, and then if I like move this up, if I come into here and I move it up, we're up with something that looks a bit like that. And though it looks good, but it's like you end up with something far from like a toony effect. But if I turn that down, we end up with something a bit more closer to home. If I turn it off, it looks a bit more like that, and the more up you go, I mean, it still looks pretty neat, but you wanna get it somewhere around. I mean, that looks pretty neat. I mean, if I was to come up to here, but yeah, so that's about it, guys. So it's your boy Patience. Leave your thumbs, your likes, and your comments down below. Over and out, guys.